Should be. It's not. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se ne sta, dell'elmo di Scipio se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la Roma che schiava di Roma, Dio la creò. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se resta, dell'elmo di Scipio se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, chi schiava di Roma, Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Sì!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And thank you so much, Ilio and Police Officer Lauren Leggio, for our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our invocation by New York City Police Department Chaplain, the Reverend Monsignor David L. Casada.
Let us remind ourselves that we are in God's presence. Let us pray. O Lord our God, as we come together tonight on this most beautiful day in spring, we ask you in a very special way to watch over, bless, and protect all of us gathered here in memory of Lieutenant Detective Giuseppe Petrosino. We ask you in a very special way as we come together to watch over, guide, and protect our honorees, all those today, distinguished people of our community that will be reflected and honored tonight. Continue to strengthen them in their work, and may they continue to do your work in this world. Bless our gathering and keep us all under your protective care. We ask this for you, our God, today and forever. Amen.
And thank you so much, Monsignor Casada. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I'd now like to introduce the President of the Association, Mr. Bob Fonte.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, we can do better than that. Think about it as Sunday morning. The sauce, or as we used to say, the gravy is boiling on the stove, and Mom wakes up and says, "Good morning," but we're going to say, "Good evening." Now that's a nice greeting. Thank you so very much. My name is Robert Fonte. I'm the president of the organization. I'm just going to ask for your indulgence for a few moments as we go through some housekeeping issues, but we also want to thank you. I want to thank all our honorees and dignitaries tonight. It's so important of what we do on a daily basis. We wake up, we show up, and we speak up. We're proud of our heritage, but we're also proud of being Italian Americans, Americans of Italian descent, Greek descent, Irish, Jewish American, because we're all one. So I think that deserves an applause for all of us for what we're doing here tonight. We have formulated a Trinity tonight. As you see, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. We have a Trinity with Joe Petrosino. It's the Association in Padula, the Association in Palermo, and the Association here in the United States of America, shown by these three banners. I want to recognize also individuals that have fit this into their schedule tonight, and I want to thank them for coming. I'd like to particularly welcome National DA Madeline Singers. Madeline, thank you so very much. Also coming this evening, he's on his way, Suffolk County District Attorney Tim Sinney. As well as our Congressman Tom Swazi from Long Island. So I want to thank everyone for coming from Long Island and traveling. I know there was a little traffic tonight, but on the way home there is none. I'd like to ask all our board members of the Lieutenant Joseph Petrosino Association to stand, and the advisory board members. Please stand, I want to recognize you. Please. These are the men and women. These are the men and women that give tirelessly to making this room filled and continuing the legacy of what Joe Petrosino has started. So what have we done in the last year? We've done a lot. You take a look at our website, you'll see that the website is now live, and we're doing a lot with it. So we ask that you go on www.petrosinousa.org. I want to thank our board member, our first vice president, Vinny D'Angelo. Where's Vinny? I want to thank him so very much for the hard work on that. Vinny right there in the scooter. What do? We promote respectful law here at home, and we around the world. But it all starts here, and it starts tonight, as we thank those in law enforcement, we thank those in the military and those that are serving, and we thank our first responders. Let's hear it for them. We've done a lot. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I want to just say we're recognizing those in law enforcement and those in law. Because without law and order, what do we have? Please, give me a few more minutes. We're pleased that the National Law Enforcement Foundation has reached out to us to honor Joe Petrosino in a permanent exhibit. They're building a museum in Washington, D.C., and it should be debuting in mid-October. So we expect everyone, a delegation. We will be taking a bus to there, and we will be making sure that we make our mark in Washington, D.C. One of the crown jewels of being Italian American is our museum, our Italian American Museum. So I want to thank Dr. Joe Scelsa, who is working there. Let's hear it for Dr. Joe Scelsa. We always found out what Joe's secret is not the fact that he works hard, not the fact that he made a museum work. It's the fact that he married Joyce Scelsa. Let's hear it for Joyce. I'd like to thank our sponsors this evening, Joe and Mary Amatone, the Columbus Citizens Foundation, Patricia Manzo, the Rinaldi Group, and Sean Acosta. I want to thank them because they put the people in the seats and they will make sure that we continue. I'd like to also thank Tony Annunziato for the Enchanted Flowers for the flowers, Mike Petrosino for Mountain Spring Water. You'll see on your table, and on the way out, you'll be grabbing a bottle on the way out. It's our official Joe Petrosino bottle of water. So I want to let you know, Monsignor Casada blessed the water this evening. So it is holy water. At this time, I'd like to move on with the program and introduce, please. I'd like to introduce the Deputy Consul General, Silvia Limoncini, to say a few remarks. Consul General. All right, we'll come back to the Consul General, and I'm going to turn the program back over to the Lieutenant here.
And thank you so much, Bob. Give a hand for Bob. Great committee getting this all together. Takes a lot of hard work. And unfortunately, Governor Cuomo could not be here tonight due to a previous engagement, but he did send the Director of Italian-American Affairs for the state of New York. I'd like to welcome to the podium Dolores Alfieri. Dolores?
Good evening, everyone. Buonasera. I want to thank Bob and the association for having me here on behalf of the governor. He does send his regrets that he couldn't be here in person, and he also sent me with a letter to present that I will just read very briefly from because I know I won't hold your attention very long. I've been an Italian my whole life. I know how it goes. As individuals with a shared Italian heritage, the members of the Petrosino Foundation perpetuate the Italian language through a variety of cultural exchange and educational scholarship programs. Honoring the memory of Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino, the Foundation works with law enforcement agencies to remove negative stereotypes and promote peace and justice throughout the Italian community. You come together this evening to pay tribute to those who further this important cause, and I join in congratulating your distinguished honorees and benefactors. With warmest regards and best wishes for an enjoyable evening, Governor Andrew M. Cuomo. Tanti grazie, buon appetito.
Thank you so much. And I'll take the letter. Thank you. And thank you so much, Dolores. We wanted to also mention from Babylon, Long Island, the council member and a board member of this organization, Anthony Bonetto's here. Anthony, thank you so much for coming out. And now we'd like to move to our presentations. We'd like to first start introducing Mitch Weiss, presenting the award to the New York City Police Commissioner, James P. O'Neill. Mitch?
Good evening. I want to thank everyone for being here this evening. This is one of our best dinners ever. We have over 300 people here today. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce a man who needs no introduction. Commissioner James O'Neill was appointed the 43rd Police Commissioner in September 2016. He is credited for his leadership of the NYPD. Under Commissioner O'Neill, he leads a department of uniformed and civilians of over 50,000 people. He is also credited in keeping the city of New York one of the safest cities in America. Under his leadership, he has built the trust of the community, and under his new initiative, the Neighborhood Coordination Officers Program, where police officers are on the street, working and meeting the community and its community leaders. New Yorkers should be very proud of this man and should be very proud of the NYPD. I now present to you the Petrosino Association's award, the honoree, Commissioner James O'Neill, the Police Commissioner of the City of New York.
Good evening, everyone. And as an Irish kid from Brooklyn and a room full of Italians, I really appreciate this award. Thank you very much. So in the course of everyone's life is to make decisions, and you live by those decisions. And I had a decision to make way back in 1980, and I could have ended up marrying an Italian girl, but I didn't. And in my life, I don't have a lot of regrets, but that might be one. That might be one of them. Just, I got you to laugh a little bit. That's good. That's good. Just, Mitch, Bob, thank you for this tremendous, and the rest of the board, thank you for this tremendous honor. We try to carry on the legacy of Joe Petrosino. If you see where we are in New York in 2018, and if you've been in New York City for any number of years, you know where we are. You know, you were here in 1990 where there were 2,200 murders. Last year there were 292. None of that happened because people decided that they weren't going to be criminals anymore. They weren't going to commit violent acts. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of police officers injured. Unfortunately, a lot of police officers killed in the line of duty. So I'm more than happy to accept this prestigious award on behalf of the 54,000, 36,000 uniformed members of the service, the 18,000 civilian members of the NYPD who each and every day come to work and know what their mission is, know what their job is, and that is to keep this great city safe. So Mitch and the rest of the board, truly an honor. Thank you very much. Before I sit down, I don't know if Joe Piscopo is still here, but I want to publicly thank him for, hey Joe, thank you for everything you say at the NYPD. We appreciate it each and every day. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So we thank Mitch, certainly thank Commissioner O'Neill, and congratulate him on the Petrosino Award. For those of you wondering what's going on the left side of the stage, so all the honorees tonight are signing here, the board. Eventually we'll probably do something with it, I'm not sure, put it up for auction, put it on eBay, not really sure what we're doing, and Bob will explain that. But all the honorees, please, when you finish getting your award and making your speech, please come over to the board and sign it with the board members in attendance. We now like to call another high executive of the New York City Police Department. He was our first deputy police commissioner for many years, and then now is a judge here in the state of New York. It's indeed my honor to introduce a fellow marathoner. We ran a couple marathons together. The Honorable Judge George Grasso.
And Tony, let me win every time. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It's great to be here. Always a pleasure. Special thanks to Jim Lisa, Bob Fonte, Peggy Petrosino, and Mitchell Weiss, who I like to call Michael Wassini, our honorary Italian. Also, it's always great to be here with my friends and our top-notch police commissioner, Jimmy O'Neill. Jim, keep up the great work. We're very proud. We all take exceptional pride in the great work on both sides of the Atlantic to celebrate the legacy of Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino. He was a visionary and fearless leader. He transformed the NYPD in ways that reverberate to this day. From the bomb squad to the Intelligence Bureau, the Counterintelligence Bureau, the legacy of Lieutenant Petrosino lives on. This is a legacy that put the NYPD on a path to global leadership. Equally as important, Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino's life and legacy continues to serve as a potent disinfectant for noxious stereotypes of Italian Americans. I think a round of applause on that. Tonight, I have the distinct honor of introducing the recipient of the Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino in America Judiciary Award. As a prior recipient of that award, I can say that this year, the association truly outdid itself. The Chief Judge of the State of New York, Janet DiFiore, is an outstanding choice. She exemplifies the legacy of Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino. As a first-generation daughter of Italian immigrants, she has excelled every step of the way. She is a St. John's Law graduate who became an assistant district attorney in Westchester County, went on to raise a family, then was elected to county and Supreme Court judgeships, and then was elected as the district attorney of Westchester County. But with all of that, she was just getting started. Governor Andrew Cuomo appointed her to be the Chief Judge of the State of New York in January of 2016. She is now at the pinnacle of the legal profession in New York State and is wasting no time in making her mark. She has demonstrated her commitment to excellence in the New York State court system by launching the Excellence Initiative. The Excellence Initiative has become central to the mission of the New York State Unified Court System, which is to promote the rule of law and serve the public by achieving just and timely resolution of all matters before the courts. I have had the privilege of working with and for Judge DiFiore in bringing her commitment to excellence to life. We have taken on some of the most intractable delays and inefficiency in the court system and have turned them around. We have taken on the opioid crisis in New York City, and we are reshaping the ability of the criminal court to marshal resources and save lives. And for all of that has already been accomplished, Judge DiFiore is just getting started. She is the type of leader who knows how to get real results in real time. She is focused, supportive, and knows how to spot BS fast. In short, she is a real pleasure to work with and for. Therefore, in the tradition of Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino's commitment to excellence and his legacy as an Italian American who defied stereotypes, it is truly my honor to introduce an outstanding Italian American, our Chief Judge, Janet DiFiore.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Judge Grasso, for that very nice introduction. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Thank you to the committee for all of your work in putting this beautiful event together. I'm going to ask for a moment of personal privilege before I begin my brief remarks, and I'd like to introduce all of you to my guest here this evening, a gentleman who I have worked with for almost 3 decades He is the chief of the Homicide Bureau in the Westchester County District Attorney's Office. We started out as young assistants together. His name is Perry Perrone. He's at the second table there. Perry Perrone, for all he has accomplished, leading hundreds of homicides, trying the most notorious cases across New York State. One of the most important things about Perry is that he is the great nephew of Joseph Petrosino. So Perry, thank you for being here this evening. Thank you very much. So I am so thrilled and honored and humbled to receive this award this evening for many, many reasons. First and foremost, of course, because I have great and enduring respect for the men and women in the law enforcement community, alongside whom I have worked for 30 years. I admire your courage and your service and your leadership, and we thank you every day for your service, keeping our family safe and strong. As important, I am also so pleased to be here tonight because my Italian roots and heritage have been an enormous source of personal pride and strength for me throughout my entire life. And as you all can imagine, when 13-year-old Joseph Petrosino arrived here in New York City from southern Italy, I guess it was in the 1870s, we can most assuredly assume that he could never have imagined that he would spend most of the rest of his life fighting for justice in service of the people in the city that he loved, a city that was bursting at that time with the dreams of millions of immigrants who came to America in search of freedom and opportunity, only to encounter in many cases and in many quarters the harsh reality of closed doors, bigotry, and outright hostility. But as you know, this is one of the many reasons why the Italian-American experience is so inspiring, because it is a story of triumph, of how our parents and our grandparents refused to be discouraged or defeated by the forces stacked against them, and how despite those compelling forces, they made honorable, decent lives for themselves and even better lives for their children, with their honest struggle and persistence and their laudable courage and determination, inspiring every one of us to live our best lives. So how is it then, to Judge Grasso's point, that such a great story of human triumph tended in so many different places to be overshadowed by another narrative, by the story of the very, very small number of individuals who, in the face of hard times and frustrated dreams, turned to the other side of the law? How is it that their misdeeds have been told and retold and even glamorized, while so much less is known about the true patriots and heroes like Lieutenant Petrosino, a brilliant, brave, pioneering police officer and detective who won the deep respect and admiration of Teddy Roosevelt, and who fearlessly brought so many of these criminals to justice at the cost, ultimately, of course, of his own life. We're here today because we know and understand that the story of Lieutenant Petrosino's life is the true story of our Italian-American experience. And this association deserves our thanks and our gratitude for keeping that story and the lieutenant's legacy alive and well and in the forefront of our minds. When I was 12 years old, a cousin of mine was arrested for a very, very serious crime. He was tried and he was convicted, and I attended, along with his heartbroken mother, every day of the court proceedings. And as I observed the solemn gravity of the judge on the bench, the adversarial roles of the prosecutor and the defense counsel, and above all, had the opportunity to witness firsthand how the criminal justice system worked to hold people appropriately accountable for their misconduct. That experience turned out to be one of the formative experiences of my life. I loved my cousin, of course, but I also understood that there had to be consequences for his actions. And when the trial was over, I knew two things in my head and in my heart: that justice had been done, and that I wanted to be a prosecutor and a part of that system of accountability. Like so many Italian Americans, my parents were humble, hardworking people who never had the chance or the opportunity to get through high school. But they made every possible sacrifice to enable their only daughter to live up to whatever my potential was to be, including achieving that goal I set for myself in the courtroom. My parents' simple values have carried me a long way in life. The strong bonds of family, the dignity of hard work, the critical importance of education, a commitment to excellence in everything that we do, gratitude for God's blessings, and something I have carried with me all of my life, a deep and abiding respect for the law. This great country we live in was built by the contributions of immigrants like Joseph Petrosino, individuals who recognized the rich potential of a young nation built on the rule of law, and who understood that it is indeed the rule of law that guarantees every one of us the freedom and the opportunity to pursue our dreams, to distinguish ourselves as individuals, and to do the good works we must pursue for and on behalf of our neighbors and our communities. And so with that common background and tradition, it should be no surprise to any of us that Lieutenant Petrosino became a fearless and noble defender and enforcer of our laws, fighting to establish order so that his fellow Americans and fellow immigrants could pursue their full potential without having to experience fear, corruption, or violence. I know that every one of you in this room agrees with me when I say you and I have it in our power to follow Lieutenant Petrosino's example and use all of the blessings and opportunities that were passed on to us by our immigrant ancestors to continue to defend the rule of law and keep our communities and our country safe and prosperous. In my own life, owing to the grace of so many, I have been given the opportunities to be able to pursue my passion for the rule of law as a prosecutor, as a judge, as district attorney, and now as chief judge of our great state. In the spirit that motivated and inspired Lieutenant Petrosino, I have committed to use my position as chief judge to ensure that in our judicial system, through the work and commitment of our judges like Judge George Grasso and our non-judicial staff throughout the state, we will do everything within our power to earn the trust and confidence of the public we serve, to provide fair and timely justice to every litigant who comes through our courthouse doors, and to carry out our mission of upholding the rule of law. I want to thank you again for this wonderful, wonderful award, and I assure you that it will be displayed in a place of honor in my chambers at Court of Appeals Hall. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you so much, Chief Justice. Please sign our board. Again, we don't know what we're doing with the board, but please sign it. It's indeed now my honor, as Commissioner O'Neill earlier mentioned, a true supporter of law enforcement, and particularly the NYPD. For our next presenter, Joe Piscopo. Please come on up.
I love being here. I love being Italian. How many Italians in the house tonight? Come on now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They can't keep us down. Yeah, you try to take that statue down. I dare you. Did they really think that was going to happen? Right, Commissioner, you know what I mean? They would take the Columbus statue down, you know? And now without a president going over to Korea, North Korea there, right? I don't know why he's bothered. Just send 2 Italian guys from Jersey in a Buick. It'll be over in 2 days. Am I right or wrong? Dominic and Johnny from the neighborhood. I'm just saying. I look around and I see everybody, and within you I see my parents. Rest my father's soul, Pasquale Giuseppe. Couldn't speak English when he first came to school. They used to make fun of him, you know. And now, as Italian Americans, look at you. We got judges and all distinguished business people, and the governor of the state is Italian. You know what? We own it now. You know? You ever feel like that kind of? We own it, and it starts with a man like this, with Lieutenant Joe Petrosino. This is so inspirational, because don't you think of your grandparents? My grandparents came from Avellino, Provincia di Avellino, right? And they came over, right? They came over, my grandfather couldn't speak English for nothing, but when they came to America, my grandparents, and I know that Giuseppe Petrosino was the same way. When they came here, they learned the laws and they learned the language, and they came here to become Americans. And that is something that I keep in my heart and in my mind. So, but I have to, listen, well, I'm playing Lorenzo's in Staten Island on the 18th. Come on, I'll do my whole act for you there, okay? We're going. But I want to thank you very much for listening to the radio station on AM 970, The Answer, with Frankie Five Boroughs and Al Gattullo and Debbie Duhane. We have a platform that is pro-Italian American. It's okay on my radio to say we are one nation under God. It's okay to say we are one nation under God. In God we trust, and God bless America. It's okay. You're afraid to say it now, right? Anthony, give me about a half an hour, and I'll be right where you guys say. But I have to tell you, we're so pro-law enforcement, and the men and women of the NYPD do such a stellar job, and it is our responsibility on the radio and broadcasting to let everybody know that what Commissioner O'Neill and his great organization do, they are the first line of defense in terror, and you think about local crimes, in terror, this terrible violent time that we're in. It is the police department of New York, the NYPD, that first and foremost keep us safe. You are doing a stellar job, sir, and we appreciate that. Thank you. And I have to tell you, as a side note, we were at the Holy Name Society just last week, I guess it was. It was great with Cardinal Dolan, and it was the Holy Name Society for the NYPD. I was honored. I brought my mother there, 93 years old. You believe that? My mom came. Cardinal Dolan was great. This Cardinal Dolan's great. He's the guy that should be the first American Pope. Don't you think so, Commissioner? I like that guy, right? He's Irish, but that's okay. But and I want to get to the star who I'm going to introduce, which gives me a great honor to do that. I'm at the podium, right? I'm at the dais, and then Commissioner O'Neill comes by, and he says to me, just as a casual pass by, in the midst of the morning with the Holy Name Society, Joe, thanks for all you're doing with Lisa. And he was referring to Lisa Tuzzolo, who lost her husband, Sergeant Paul, recently, and and the commissioner bought it, just made it so small town, and it made me realize why the department is so great. Here's a man, in a casual conversation, he not only does he forget his officers, but the spouses of the officers who are lost in the line of duty. That was really amazing. Thank you, Commissioner. I love it. Now, this evening, we are also, and Angelo Vivolo. Where's my man Angelo Vivolo is going to be honored tonight. I love you, Angelo, for all that you're doing with the Columbus Citizens Foundation. We appreciate it very much. This evening, we are also honoring a man who, like myself, was a tried and true Jersey boy. Any Jersey folks in the house tonight? Come on. I'll give you a ride home in a minute. Don't worry about it, Joe. Yeah, what exit is this where we are now? I had no idea. This is someone who I personally would have loved to have met and know. He had the largest narcotic bust in the history of the state of New Jersey. Captain Anthony Rinaldi of the Hoboken Police Force served for over 3 decades protecting the community he loved. Yep, and he was a proud member of New Jersey law enforcement and a proud Italian American. His family is with us tonight, and Anthony Rinaldi Jr., founder and president of the New Jersey and New York-based Rinaldi Group, one of the leading building and construction management firms in the U.S., is here tonight. Anthony, welcome into your beautiful family. Mary, you got Mamma Mia here. Hi, Mary. This is a great group. Anthony, your father is looking down on us tonight, my friend. He's looking down on us and he is smiling, no doubt. You are here with your mother, Mary, and your wife, Joan, hiya, Joan, to celebrate the life and career of Anthony Rinaldi Sr. As I said, it would have been a pleasure and an honor to have met Anthony Sr., but unfortunately, Captain Rinaldi passed away in 1984 to colon cancer. But the year before, he was awarded by the Hoboken Superior Officers Association, and unfortunately, he did not live long enough to see what a tremendous success his son became. Anthony Jr., inspired by the life of his father, was dedicated to becoming a success. Still to this day, a Secaucus resident, love that you stay in Jersey, man, where Anthony and Joan, they have raised 3 children, and you attended Secaucus High School, is a member of the Secaucus High School Hall of Fame. I got kicked out of my high school, man. You are good. I tell you what, God bless you. Hall of Fame. He was a baseball legend there at Secaucus High School as well. He then attended Lehigh University, where he was a top Major League Baseball prospect. He also dutifully served on the board of the Secaucus Union Free School District. Family and community have always been a major part of his life. Professionally, Anthony chose engineering, eventually founding his own group, the Rinaldi Group, one of the largest building and construction firms in the country. A great businessman and beloved family man, Anthony, it is my privilege to honor you today. Anthony Rinaldi Jr., ladies and gentlemen, in the name of his father, if you will. Please, vieni qua, per favore. La famiglia. La familia, vieni qua. You want to bring the family up? Come on up, guys. Sure. And I must say, I have a proclamation for your dad, man. For your dad from the city of Hoboken. And that is presented to your father. See you.
Well, for those of you who know me, I have a tough time making a long story short. But tonight, I'm going to take a really good shot at it. First off, let me thank Peggy Petrosino and the Petrosino family for bestowing this great honor upon my father and our family. And on behalf of the family, I really received these awards tonight for my father. My father was a brutally proud Italian American, and to know him was to love him. And there were 2 things in his life that made him most proud: being a cop and being an Italian American. And to be honored by this association and to share an award in the name of Lieutenant Detective Joseph Petrosino, and knowing the type of cop my dad was, I wish the 2 men had a chance to meet one another, because I know they were cut from the very same type of cloth. So, on behalf of my mom, who is still with us, who just celebrated her 91st birthday, and on behalf of my wife, Joan, and my family, who are all here, my sister-in-law, Gracie, Roseanne, my daughter, Julia, and my confidant, Dante Carasso. We couldn't have my both boys here. They're traveling. One is on business, and one is at Michigan State University finishing up exams, so unfortunately we couldn't have them here tonight. But I can't tell you all what an honor and a privilege it is to be standing before you tonight and be able to share an award with Commissioner James O'Neill and be in a room of law enforcement officers, the likes of which make me most proud. So again, on behalf of my family, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Bob for this award. I want to thank the board of directors and the committee for bestowing this great honor on us. Thank you very much.
We are also presenting to him something he was honored in October. We didn't have this in time, but we want to give this plaque to him for his office. So let's hear it again for Anthony Rinaldi and the Rinaldi family and his dad.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure having Joe up at the podium. Thank you for your support for law enforcement. Thank you to the Rinaldi family for your support and love of law enforcement and obviously the Italian community. We now like to bring up again Mitch Weiss for our next award to the president of the NYPD Columbia Association, Detective Emmanuel, affectionately known as Manny Rossi. Mitch.
You're not getting rid of me because I'm coming back again. Our next honoree is Detective Emmanuel Rossi. Manny is a proud member of the NYPD and a proud Italian American. With 23 years of service to the NYPD and the president of the NYPD Columbia Association, Manny represents approximately 4,000 members and retirees of the Italian American descent of the NYPD. The Petrosino Association is proud to award the Excellence in Law Enforcement to a proud Italian American, Detective Manny Rossi, President of the Columbia Association.
Good evening. Tonight I stand here amazed and humbled in receiving this award, along with many other recipients. Commissioner O'Neill, Antonio Leone, Angelo Vivolo, just to name a few, who are held in high regard. To the Petrosino Association, I just want to say thank you for this recognition, and it's an honor. Commissioner O'Neill, congratulations. And thank you for affording me the opportunity to work for the greatest police department in the world. To the PBA President Patrick Lynch and the Vice President John Puglisi, to the DEA President Mike Palladino and the Vice President and past President of the NYPD Columbia Association, Paul DiGiacomo, and to my mentor, Anthony Cicerano, thank you for your continuous support. To my board officers, I cannot say enough about all that you do throughout the years and to make our fraternal organization successful, and I am truly grateful. Thank you. And to my family, my wife Maggie, my children Jacqueline, Adam, Rachel, Elena. Thanks for always being in my corner and cheering me on. And to my mother Victoria, who's waving right behind me. She and my father came to America in 1959 to start a new life in a new place. Their mindset was hard work, earn an honest living, and treat people with respect. And never forget that you're Italian. Thank you for putting me on the right path. Thank you.
Manny is also very humble. His son is joining the NYPD on July 2nd. Congratulations. What a great legacy.
You guys do it. You do it.
Thank you very much, and I just want to take this opportunity. Please, just give me a minute. Very important, and we have an important message from a very important dignitary who brings greetings from Italy as well. I'd like to bring up Deputy Consul General Lemoncini. Silvia Lemoncini, please join us.
Buonasera a tutti e buon appetito comunque. I'm Silvia Lemoncini. I'm the Deputy Consul General of Italy in New York, and I would like to say that I'm really honored to be here tonight on behalf also of the Consul General Francesco Genualdi, to be here as the annual award winner of the Lieutenant Joseph Petrosino Association in America. First of all, I would like to thank the chairman, Mr. James Lisa, and President Robert Fonti for the outstanding work you are doing with this association. We are here to honor the work of many distinguished individuals and to celebrate their unique contribution to the community. So I would like to extend my warmest and most sincere congratulations to tonight's honorees. And I also would like to say something from the deep of my heart. Since I'm here, it's 8 months that I arrived in the city. And I had the chance and the honor to meet a lot of Italian-American associations in this in the New York City. And I have to say that I'm always amazed by the passion, by the dedication that you put in to keep alive the Italian-American values. And so I would like to thank you for doing this, for teaching me a lot. And I'm sure that I have 3 years more here, and I'm sure I will grow learning from you. And another important thing I would like also to mention Commissioner O'Neill. I'm very honored to be here tonight with you and to say that we have a wonderful collaboration with the New York Police Department. Whenever we need help, there is always a great, response and collaboration. This is wonderful. And there are a lot of friends that I met since I'm here, from Angelo Vivolo, from Salsa Libello, and Joe Mattone and his lovely wife, and Dr. Scelsa, and I think there are a lot of many others that I met, and I would like to thank you very much for your help and for what you're doing, also to keep the Italian language alive. This is a message that I would like to convey to you. We need to speak Italian. If you speak Italian with your children, with your grandchildren, because it's the best way to keep alive our values. And we at the Consulate General, we are doing great work to keep the language alive. And it's a news of today that we are there is a school that will be a dual lingual school that will be open in the west side of Manhattan, which is a great achievement for us. So, parliamo italiano, l'italiano è bellissimo, non dimentichiamolo e buona serata e grazie ancora per avermi invitato. Viva l'Italia, viva l'America!
Yes, we can check. And thank you so much, Council General. And now again, I'd like to introduce Mitchell Weiss.
Commissioner, you getting tired of seeing me? I now present to you the Petrosino Association's international representative, Jerry D'Amato, to introduce our next honoree, Brigadier General Antonio Leone, who is a longtime friend and supporter of law enforcement and to the NYPD. Jerry?
Thank you, Rich. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As many of you may know, we are an international organization. And this year, we are honored to have with us as our next honoree from Italy and based at the Italian Embassy in Washington, D.C., General Antonio Leone. General Leone has spent over 3 decades in law enforcement. He has led investigative units in fighting tax frauds, organized crime, drug trafficking, money laundering, and a host of other criminal activities. Prior to his Washington, D.C. assignment, General Leone was the head of the International Affairs Office in Rome. In 2003, he was assigned to Brussels and anti-fraud advisor at the Permanent Mission of Italy to the European Union. He has held a host of leadership positions in fighting crime. This gentleman, I tell you, has been all over the world and has a true crime fighter in the name of Petrosino. We are proud to present him this year with the Lieutenant Joseph Petrosino Award, International Award. Signor Leone, Petrosino.
Good evening, everyone. Buonasera a tutti. Faccio seguito, faccio eco alle parole del console. Buonasera a tutti, benvenuti. Grazie per avermi invitato. Thank you for inviting me. Tonight is a real pleasure for me to be here with you this evening to celebrate memory of such a brave man as Lieutenant Detective Giuseppe Petrosino. Judge Grasso said he was a visionary. Yes, I fully agree with you. Judge Di Fiore said he was a brave. Yes, he was a brave, such brave. But I'd like to recall just the 3 pillars, 3 standing pillars of his life, his entire life. His moral integrity, his sense of justice, his loyalty to the institution. His loyalty to NYPD. This pillar must represent for all of us who we are policemen, as the justice was, a sort of model, a polar star, to continue to look into performing our daily duties. All the officers throughout the world, in Italy, as well as in the US, NYPD, law enforcement agencies, have a huge number of responsibilities. So, I think this value should be the most important pillar to us to follow. With this, I hope this could be considered a shared value, and it could be considered a sort of foundation on which to build newer, stronger relationship between the US and Italian law enforcement communities. With this in mind, I would like to thank you, Mitch, to thank all the members of the board for the award you conferred upon me, and I wish you all the success for the future of your association. Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the event. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
For our next presenter, I'd like to bring up Joe Matone, please, to the podium.
I was delighted to be here. And anybody who's intelligent is going to listen to me. I'm here to honor a gentleman who deserves an honor. And I'll be very short because that's all on one page. Angelo Vivolo, who's probably known to most of the people here, has been a dedicated member of the Columbus Citizens Foundation for 32 years, and presently serves as its chairman of the board. He was past president. He will once again serve in 2018 as the chairman of the Columbus Day celebration. Since we have a new president, the first woman president of the Columbus Foundation. In addition to being an active member of the Columbus Citizens Foundation, he presently serves as the president of, you gotta listen to this carefully now, the Columbus Heritage Coalition, which is comprised of over 50 Italian-American organizations, whose goal is to preserve Columbus Day and Columbus Circle, as well as its monument of Columbus itself. As a noted restaurateur for the past 41 years, he has been the owner of a successful restaurant, Fine Dining, and as you may not be aware of, he has served 2 popes since his visit here. Pope Benedict in 2008, and he survived, and Pope Francis in 2015, when they visited New York City. Angelo took it upon himself with some help from the smart people at the Columbus Foundation to gather outside forces of organizations when there was this strong discriminatory effort by forces that were very finely tuned to try to disparage the man to whom we owe our heritage in part, and why we're sitting here today. His name was Christopher Columbus. They tried to take some of that away from us. We live in him. He was far from perfect. Nobody said he was ever a saint. However, they sought to disparage him and unfairly. My point is he had the perseverance, the courage, the undaunting effort to go where no other man went. And for that alone, he should be revered and honored, because without him, none of us would be here tonight. Anyway, Angelo was smart enough to get people around him from the Columbus Foundation, get lots of opinions, formed a committee, dealt with 50 different Italian-American organizations, and if you think that is an impossible situation, that goddamn it is. But he got them together, and they formed this great coalition, and they're working to preserve everything that's good about Columbus, Columbus Circle, and the Columbus Monument. With that, I give you the man of the hour, Angelo Vivolo.
No, keep your team.
Get Joe down. Yeah. Joe, you want to say that? You want to say that? Yeah. Is that okay?
Good evening, buonasera, benvenuti a tutti. Welcome everyone. This is a tough act to follow. I want to thank Joe for a very kind and generous introduction. I've been twice blessed tonight, receiving an award from the Lieutenant Petrosino Association in America and being introduced by Joe Matone, who is an icon in our community. I want to thank Jimmy and Lisa and the Lieutenant Petrosino Committee for recognizing the Columbus Heritage Coalition. I want to offer, just to be 2 minutes, I promise. I want to offer my personal congratulations to the other most worthy honorees tonight. I feel humbled by their surroundings. Commissioner O'Neill, and Janet DiFiore, Chief Judge, and George Grasso, and so many others that were honored tonight. I really feel humbled by being a part of this group this evening, and my friend Joe Shelter. So it's really a big honor for me to be receiving this award tonight. It's also my honor and privilege to represent the Columbus Heritage Coalition and receive this award on behalf of the coalition. I must give a little background on how the Columbus Heritage Coalition came to be, although Joe alluded to it earlier. I want to give you a little more detail. Last August, when the Columbus Circle and the Columbus Monument were being challenged, I was the president of the Columbus Citizens Foundation at the time. I know we needed to act quickly, so I asked the Board of Governors of the foundation to approve a statement, and I got a budget approved to have it published in the New York Times, the Daily News, and the New York Post. It was very costly, but it was certainly money well spent. Thank you, Jim Lisa, and your support, and many other Italian-American publications that published the statement gratis and got the word out. And it was because of that statement, we resulted in an unexpected and overwhelming unification of our community. The Italian-American community was finally united. We were galvanized as one and ready to have our voice heard. And from that Columbus Heritage Coalition was created a group, as said earlier, of over 50 Italian-American organizations, presently representing almost 50,000 people across the country. We are an organization that can legally lobby on behalf of the Italian-American community. We are determined not to have our Italian culture marginalized. We have two goals. One is local and the other is national. Our first goal locally is to preserve New York City's Columbus Circle and the Columbus Monument as is, without placards or kiosks, just as it stands today. Our second goal is to protect and preserve the celebration of Columbus Day, which, as you know, is being challenged across the country, and believe it or not, in our own backyard. Our community has been busy being productive citizens in the same way that Lieutenant Petrosino did before us. We are hardworking Italian Americans who value and exemplify integrity, honesty, devotion to country and God, and family. But unfortunately, we have been too complacent in preserving respect for our culture and heritage and the great contributions we have made to America. I believe in my heart that our community is finally united and we stand together to preserve the Columbus Monument and Columbus Day without compromise. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the kind attention and commitment to our community and this wonderful recognition of the Columbus Heritage Coalition. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your award. I'd now like to bring up our next presenter as they're signing the board there. Joe Cairo, please come up to the podium.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I can have your attention. This is going to be very brief, Sean told me. I'm very honored tonight to present Sean Acosta, this year's Humanitarian Award winner. I have with me Rich Nicolello, who is the presiding officer of the Nassau County Legislature. We're also joined by the former administrative judge of Nassau County, Supreme Court Justice Anthony Morano. Sean Acosta served as a New York City policeman, decided that he wanted to, after retirement, provide for his family. So he invested $100 and took a course, How to Grieve Property Taxes. For those of us who live in Nassau County, we know that's a pretty common thing to do, to grieve your real property taxes. Sean today, on an annual basis, represents about 40,000 taxpayers who file these grievances. And the nice thing is, if there's someone who feels they're struggling, their taxes are high, they can't afford to pay for it, Sean will do it for them without any charge. He is truly a humanitarian. Only last week he was honored by Peer Pals, which is an organization on Long Island which provides much service for autistic children. He has been very generous in his donations for cancer research and for Calvary Hospital in the Bronx, where the terminally ill spend their final days. And he also takes missions to third world countries. Truly a humanitarian, this year's honoree, Sean Acosta. Sean?
Thank you very much. This is a very big honor for me. One, I gotta say, I see a picture of me when I first became a police officer over here to the left, and I'm like, what happened to me? I guess I ate too much tonight. But I gotta say, one of the biggest things as a police officer is to give up your life. I mean, when somebody, police officer, he or she gives up their life, it's the biggest honor that they could do. I come from a long line of police officers in my family. My father, my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, my cousin David, who's here. 3 guys who I worked with, and we've been friends for 28 years around my table over here too. You know, I was also on a scene of a police officer, George Shue, as a young police officer who was also killed in the line of duty. Me and my partner, God bless his soul, were the first responders to somebody like that. So this is very close to my heart here. You know, I don't like coming up here and being honored and everything else. And like Joe just said, you know, I do give back to the community. But the police department is where I started, okay? And it made me learn how to give back to the community. It's been an honor to be, you know, a police officer, and for my family. Great job for me. You know, I do go out there and help the community. I do Toys for Tots, Peer Pals. I helped buy a kitchen last year for the vets. I mean, it's an honor that God has given me this chance to help people. So, you know, I just want to tell everybody that's here tonight, thank you for coming. It's, you know, an honor to me, but, you know, it is my job. I became a police officer to help people. It is my job. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you.
Please, your attention for the benediction, the blessing of the veil by NYPD Chaplain, the Reverend Monsignor David L. Casado.
Marianne, be quiet. Marianne. I have no idea. Remember that we are in God's presence as we come together tonight and celebrate our heritage. One of the most unique privileges in my life was to go to Padula, to the birthplace of Giuseppe Petrosino, and to say to all of us, it's a privilege and an honor to be part of the NYPD. And I ask you now to pray for our blessing before we. O Lord, in the words of St. Francis of Assisi, Lord, make us an instrument of your peace. We ask you, O Lord, through our partaking of this dinner tonight, in loving memory of Lieutenant Detective Giuseppe Petrosino, that we continue to work for peace. Peace in this world, peace in our hearts, peace in our families. Bless our food, bless our gathering, for you are Lord, today and forever, everyone. Amen. Buon appetito a tutti.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's what? Hey, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you drank too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and we'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pastefazoo, that's what? Hey, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you drank too much wine, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusami, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. Sing with me now. When I'm it's right like a big pizza pie. That's what? That's amore. When the world seems to shine like you drank too much wine. That's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and we'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a guitarrentella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with the cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusami, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore, amore, that's amore. Ole, there you go. Now, before we start our next song, and my last song for this little bit, I know you guys are getting ready to eat. I need everybody's napkins in their hand, and this is a twirling song. This song was written in 1900, to commemorate and celebrate the tram that went up Mount Vesuvius. So here you go. This is called Funiculi, Funicula. Andiamo. Come on. I'll help you. Come on now. Ole. I say, non anni ne manessiete, tu sai adò, sto cuore ingrato, chiudi spiette, per me non può. Adò, so poche cocce, ma se fuglie, te lascia sta. E non ti corri appresso, non ti struglie, solo guarda. Andiamo! Yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, bulicoli, bulicola, bulicoli, bulicola, coppa yammaya, bulicoli, bulicola, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, bulicoli, bulicola, bulicoli, bulicola, coppa yammaya, bulicoli, bulicola. Andiamo dalla terra alla montagna, non passaggero. Andiamo. Se vedi fronci e brocci delle Spagna, io vedo a te. Tirate con le punne d'inte fatto, ce lo se va. Se va come lo viento l'impresatto che saglia sa. One more time, here we go. Yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, funicoli, funicola, funicoli, funicola, coppa yammaya, funicoli, funicola, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya, yamme, yamme, coppa yammaya. Funicula, funiculi, funicula, coppa yammaya, funiculi, funicula, funicula. Grazie, grazie, grazie. My name is Elio Scaccio. Enjoy your dinner. Be right back.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce an internationally acclaimed author, someone that actually brought the life from the page, from the story of Joe Petrosino, and then now is going into a movie. But I want to introduce Stephen Talty to say a few words and also to talk about his book briefly. Come on up, Stephen. Let's hear it, Stephen. Listen, if you can't get his book tonight, you want his book, you can get his book. If you don't, go to Amazon. We want to hit the bestsellers list again on the New York Times. I give you Stephen Talty.
Thank you, Bob. I just want to say a very few words tonight. Thanks to Bob. He's been a great salesman for the book. I probably actually owe him some money at this point. But I'm the son of Irish immigrants, County Clare, and one of the reasons I wanted to write the book was I felt this was one of the great immigrant stories in America, and it had never been told. So we know the stories of the opposite side of the line, the criminals, the masterminds of crime. But Joseph Petrosino was really an intellectual giant in the field of criminal prosecution and discovery. So it was really my privilege to write the book. I discovered so many things about Petrosino, about all the things he gave up to represent Italian American culture. Finally, of course, he gave up his life, but he also came very close to giving up the love of his life, his wife. And to me, this was just telling the other side of the story. So this is the book, The Black Hand, available on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles, as Bob said. And we've been optioned, the book has been optioned by Paramount Pictures, so perhaps we'll tell the other side of the story to the Goodfellas and the Godfathers. Leonardo Caprio is involved with his company, Appian Way. So I'm hoping in a year or two, we'll all be on the red carpet in Hollywood and with Leo, and we'll finally get this story out to hundreds of millions of Americans. So thank you.
Again, Stephen is here tonight. If you want a copy, he'll sign one, autograph it for you. It's a great read, I have to tell you something. It will certainly keep you up, and you know something? He's coming out with another book. I'm not allowed to say when, but he's coming out with it October. We'll come back again. Thank you so very much. So let's hear it for Stephen Talty.
This next song happens to link Lieutenant Petrosino and Enrico Caruso together. So I couldn't have written a better intro to this song. So without further ado, I'd like to give you Caruso. Dove mare luce e tira il forte vento sulla vecchia terrazza davanti a un felice vento un uomo abbraccia una ragazza dopo che pianto e si schiarisce la voce nel sole del mare, nella senti il dolore nella musica, senza del forte, ma poi non nessuno, mi seguono guardi negli occhi delle ragazze, negli occhi verdi come mare, e non mi
The next award is being given to a dear, dear friend of not just this association, but a dear friend of the Italian-American community. Again, I need all board members to come on up. The Jack and Helen Como Award came about because of Jack and Helen Cuomo. Jack and Helen gave their life tirelessly, doing the work for the Italian-American community, as Joe Scelsa has done. But his secret is no longer a secret tonight. Mike Ricardo will tell you a story, I'm sure. Joyce would probably tell you a story. But I'm going to tell you the one tonight about Dr. Joe Scelsa and Joy Scelsa. So I'm just going to need the smart people to listen. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Joe Scelsa, Dr. Scelsa, we have many names for him. I'm sure Joyce has a few too. But we have, Joe Scelsa is a man who has given his life to the Italian-American education system, as well as to the community of Italian Americans. But most important of Joe, the secret is this. Joe could not have done any of this, and I'm going to say it more than once. Joe could not have done any of this without the work of a partner who not stands behind him, but next to him, Joyce Shelsa. Will Joyce and Joe please come up? We want to give you the Jack and Helen Cole Award. So let's, everyone, if I can't ask you your indulgence, please stand.
Good evening, and I'd like to thank the committee for this great honor. All of us who knew Helen and Jack understand what a privilege it is for me to be here accepting this award in their name. I truly appreciate it. Mille grazie.
Joyce and I knew Jack and Helen, and we were at many functions and affairs with them throughout the years. There was no cause that Jack and Helen would not support. To be honored in their name is just so special. And I cannot tell you how humbling it is to this moment. So I just want to thank you all from the very bottom of my heart to have received this award in their name. They were role models, mentors, and above all, friends to all the Italian American community, and especially Joyce and me. So thank you very much to the Petrosino Association and all those who support the association. I would, however, like to ask my board members and all my committee members to come up for a picture with all of us here. I appreciate that. So please all come up.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Everyone stand. Who's going to stand behind? Everyone stand behind. Stand over here.
I almost fell off last year.
Guys, we need some people down here. No, John, Tony, come on up, please. Richard, where are you? Are you up here? Are you here? Okay. You know, not an Italian American, John Donne said, you know, it's, no man is an island. Well, this is our island. All of us here in front of you. Let us not forget, and let us all stand together as one. As Angelo Vivolo said early on, you know, we cannot forget who we are, and we must stand up tall for now and forever. James said, where's James? James, James, you belong up here. Come on, James. And Enrico, come on up here. Enrico, come on. Mario, what are you doing back there? Please, I need a picture with you. You know, we're the last ones up, so, you know, you gotta give us a little bit of an indulgence. Thank you. Jerry and Anna Maria, please come on up. Anna Maria Cordini and Jerry, come on up, please. Vincenzo, where are you, Vincenzo? Vincenzo Romano, we need Vincenzo. Tutti e tre. On three. 1, 2, 3. Got it? Okay, thank you very much. We're just going to go into the final part of the program. We're turning it over to our Vice President of International Affairs, Jerry D'Amato.
Last year.
Give me a break.
Hello? Can I please have Joe Schleifer come up here? Joe Schleifer, right here. Vincenzo Lamano, per piacere, Vincenzo. Anna Maria Corradini. Anna Maria. Peggy, did you see, get Anna Maria and Vincenzo, please. Tell them I need them up here now. Anyway, I'm going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Schleifer has been our treasurer for many, many years. He has handled all of our county work and has done anything that we needed financially. He was there for us. Joe is retiring this year, but I was told that he will always be there, even in his retirement. Joe, in appreciation for all that you have done for us, we would like to present you with this award. Thank you, Joe, for your past appreciation.
The honor was mine. Thank you.
Anna Maria. Anna Maria, per piacere. Nino, questo è tuo, per il vostro... Take it. Anna Maria, per il vostro servizio, per tutto quello che hai fatto per la società di Petrosino in Sicilia, vi ringraziamo tanto, è un nostro onore di darti questo award. Prego. I need Vincenzo Lamano. Unfortunately, he's not here. But anyway, we'll present this to Vincenzo Petrizzo, which is also a part of the Petrosino Association in Italy. We'll give this to Vincenzo. Vincenzo, per tutto quello che voi avete fatto per noi in America, è stato un grande piacere, vi ringrazio. I would like to thank all these gentlemen for their contributions and their work that they've done for the Petrosino Association. That's it. Thank you. One more thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us this evening President Stefano Perini, Procuratore Italiano in Long Island. Benvenuto, President Perini. For those of you who do not know who he is, he serves the Italian community for all of their needs in Long Island, whether it be legal or other needs. Stefano Perini, thank you for coming this evening.
We're coming to the close of the program and the evening. We have some dessert coming out with coffee. But most important, why are we here? We're here because we're united. We're here because we're Italian Americans, Irish American, Jewish Americans, Polish Americans. We're here because we're one America. And I'm going to ask everyone to stand as Elio sings. And we want to have him sing with us. God bless America. Elio.
America, land of the free, home of the brave. I salute all of the men and women here that are of the New York Police Department and all those who have served our country and died for our country. And if you would, sing along with me as we sing God Bless America together. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Sing with me, please. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet. Sing with me.
Did you like that? All right, let's hear it again for Elio. Coffee's coming out. If we can, we're going to ask Elio maybe one more song, Elio. Can we ask Elio for one more song? Let's say, do you want to hear Elio one more song? An Italian favorite. But before I do that, I have to say thank you. They traveled from Florida to come up for this and made sure that everything was right for our entertainment tonight, for our website, and for everything else that goes on. I want to recognize Marie. Marie, come on up and thank you to you. Yes, to you. Let's hear it for Marie. Your husband said we have to. No, it's actually well deserved. Let's hear it for Marie. And Vincenzo.
All right, I've been asked a couple of times to do this song, and it's unfortunate that Joe isn't here right now, because I would ask
I would ask Joe Piscopo to come up and sing this song with me. But here you go. This is a little Frank Sinatra to end your evening for the night. Congratulations to all the awardees tonight. It's been an honor to be here at the Lieutenant Petrosino Gala once again. God bless you all. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I've stated my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, and there was doubt, I ate it up, no, I spit it out. I stood tall and faced it all, and did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not his gullions, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elio Scaccio. God bless you.